and I will ask for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wimbush. Ms. Wimbush, do you wish to make an opening statement?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to first tell you that I am not an attorney. And just like David, that ruddy little Hebrew shepherd boy, when he went up against Goliath, refused King Saul's armor because he had not tested it, I do not seek to put on the mantle of an attorney. So please accept my apologies for having to read to you my opening statement. You see, I'm just like all of you, a layperson. The only difference is that I'm accused of a crime. And you are not. Or that I am dressed in Gwinnett County Jail issue greens, and you are dressed in regular clothes. There are two major lessons that I've learned in my life. That it is easier to believe a lie than it is to believe the truth. Let me say that again. It is easier to believe a lie than it is to believe the truth. Number two, that education is the first line of defense to prevent lies from being believed. Again, education is the first line of defense. These are lessons that I've learned by living. So you may be wondering what my journey through life has been. Well, I'll tell you, I define myself as a wife and a mother. Yet, I know in this world most folks define us by what we have accomplished on paper. In that respect, I have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from Spelman College. Yes, magna cum laude. A Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from Georgia Tech, where I met the man of my dreams. Yes, cum laude. I also have a Master's of Business Administration and Management from Nova Southeastern University, summa cum laude. But I do not define myself by any of these. I define myself, and more importantly, I determine my self-worth by the wife and mother that I am. For these two mean the world to me. So no, I don't have any legal training, any legal education, or any legal experience. In fact, I've never seen a trial in person, nor any on television. But like David fought a bear and a lion to save his sheep and showed himself fearless in the face of Goliath, we fight for the family. It is the most important and fundamental aspect of life and is the foundation of a true democracy. So let's talk about the lie on paper. That is easier to believe than the truth, which is the fact that it is a lie. The lie is that we caused two of our children, two of our biological sons, who happen to be polar opposites, cruel and excessive mental and physical pain, and that we denied one vitamin D. But the truth is, we have in no way caused either of our 10 biological, yes, I birthed every one of them, less one C-section with twins, all natural births, and Dad coached me through each and every one. Nevertheless, we have in no way caused either of our 10 biological children cruel and excessive mental nor physical pain, nor have we deprived our oldest son of vitamin D. The truth instead is that we teach all of our children and ensure that they have quality of life, not for the moment, but for the duration of their life. Our acronym for TEACH is train, educate, appreciate, correct, and hold. By correct, I mean to discipline, and by to hold, I mean to protect. In fact, we believe that parents' primary responsibility is to teach their children, placing a strong emphasis on protecting them, and protection comes in many forms. It could be protection from others, and sometimes it could be protection from one's own self. Recall, I also said that I have learned that education is the first line of defense. One question you might have is, what exactly is the charge of cruelty to children? Do you mind, Judge Fluker, if I use the board and markers?
let me, the whiteboard in the corner over
Yes,
there?
ma'am.
All right, let me see, Mr. Bell, if I can get your assistance.
I'm sorry.
Are there markers with the board?
Thank you, sir.
You could position it back just a little bit further, that's fine. Just a moment to get you a marker, Ms. Wimbush.
Okay, thank you.
Take this opportunity to make a little noise. I'm sorry, I apologize. All right, you can proceed, thank you.
One question you might have is, what exactly is the charge of cruelty to children? Is it when a child is a couch potato, or when they are obese for a lack of exercise, or possibly when they experience depression due to their parents separating or getting a divorce? Or how about the mental pain they suffer from having to choose which of those parents they will live with without hurting the other's feelings? Or could it be when a child has low iron? Well, until I was accused of cruelty to children, I didn't know either. So I set out to learn exactly what it was. I learned that there are 4 different types: first degree part A, first degree part B, second degree, and third degree. And truthfully, every parent needs to know all 4 types. Well, we are accused of 3 of the 4: first degree part A and part B, and second degree. So you and I are both tasked with seeking out to identify the various essential elements, which are, in first degree part A, is 1, the defendant is the parent or guardian or other person in charge of the child. Two, the child is under 18. 3, the defendant willfully deprived the child of necessary food and drink, sufficient to support life. And 4, that the deprivation of food and drink, jeopardize the child's health or well-being. Those are the four essential elements of cruelty to children, first degree, part A. First degree, part B. One, the child is under 18. Two, that there exists evidence that the child suffered mental or physical pain. Three, that the pain was cruel and excessive. Four, that the defendants caused the pain. And five, that the defendants acted maliciously when causing the pain. Now, as for the second degree charge, it only differs in the first degree part B in number 5. And the difference is it changes from acting maliciously to that the defendants acted with criminal negligence. When causing the pain. And those are our charges. So there's a lot to look for in this case. With that said, I can't tell you what the state's evidence will show you, as there are only 12 people that lived in our home, 10 of which are children, 9 of whom were interviewed by the police and gave testimony. So I hope that the state's case is built on their testimony, and even that you will be able to view those interviews that they did with the police by video. I have to say, if I should shed tears when I see and am able to see and to speak to my very own children, just know that it is because it's been over 31 months since I've been able to see or talk to them.
Your Honor, I have to object. Based upon the motion of limine, the court has previously made a ruling on this testimony and ruled it inadmissible, and I ask that the jury be instructed to disregard it.
All right, Ms. Wimbush, I did make a ruling on that. I do find that your remarks in opening statement are in violation of the court's ruling, so I'm going to instruct the jury to disregard the last statement made by Ms. Wimbush, and I'll ask you to move on then.
Okay. Nevertheless, I will say at the end of this case, you will see that we have not in any way caused either of our children cruel and excessive mental or physical pain. You may say that we are different, odd, strange, or even bizarre, but what you will not say is that we have caused either of our children cruel and excessive mental or physical pain. So now I have a mission for each of you. Look to your inner childlike spirit and treat this trial like a scavenger hunt, where you are the fact finders, even the truth seekers, seeking to find the pieces to the puzzle that describes cruelty to children in 3 different ways that I covered over here on this board. I assure you that you will find some pieces, as we are parents of 10 biological children, 6 girls and 4 boys, that are all under the age of 18. But you will be disappointed in the end because the remaining pieces will be missing. And so at the end of this trial, the state would not have met its burden of proof, which is proving each and every essential element beyond a reasonable doubt. And accordingly, I will ask you to return a verdict of not guilty. And I will ask you to return a verdict of not guilty. Before I close, I'd like to address the opening statement by the state. He gave you a description of our life. Definitely our homeschooling parents. Trying to think of everything that he said. He was telling our story. All of our children share one bedroom, the master bedroom. They all have a twin size mattress and box spring, and it's like this play area, if you will. The rest of our home, 5-bedroom home. We have a Lego room where literally it's Legos all in this room, organized very well. In our home, we have what we call the toy room, where literally it's shelves and books and toys and all those things. We have a knitting/sewing room. You can tell we do a lot of arts and crafts, a lot of learning through application. And we have the last bedroom where Dad and I sleep, which is typically called the sleep room as well. And I'll tell you, the state is correct. At some point, Ricardo decided that his room would be in the basement. Did his parents send him down there to stay? No, they didn't. He made a choice. And that choice was his. Was he forced to stay in a room without social interaction or without mental stimulation? No, he wasn't. But Ricardo was disobedient in some ways. In those ways, I'll let him tell you. I'll let him tell you his story. I'll let him tell you his facts, his justifications, his reasonings, so that you can decide. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wimbush. If I could get the assistance of the bailiffs in removing the whiteboard, please. And it may be easier if you could just put it in the hallway for now, so you don't have to deal with the TV.